Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and I think this is another debut puzzle today by PDN. I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. It's got a very interesting rule set, slightly colourful grid. What's not to love about this? What's also not to love about our apps? If you haven't bought one of them, or some of them, think about it. Go on, it's worth doing. There is some great content there, and you will extend your brain, while away your time, learn stuff about Sudoku patterns, and be able to do all of these puzzles quicker than me rather than just some of them once you've finished those. So that's very well worth doing, as is joining our Patreon community, which I recently learned is in the top 200 in terms of number of patrons. That's fantastic. Long may it remain there, although I'm not sure it will. Lots of not safe for work ones seem to be rising very fast, which is disappointing. But ours is totally wholesome, I'm sure. Anyway, loads of extra content there, including all the Sudoku hunts recently. The Discord server is a wonderful community and, of course, features the genuinely approachable puzzles that Clover, Sam and Philip Newman put out every day, and they're really good training too. But let's see if this one is. This is called Are Circles and Squares Pals? By PDN. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. The grey line is a palindrome, and just to be clear, the line starts here. So it runs through all of these cells. The grey line is a palindrome, and therefore reads the same forwards and backwards. So that digit has to be the same, for instance, and these two have to be the same. There are no repeated digits in circles nor in squares. So the circles, which are blue highlighted, form one extra region of the numbers 1 to 9, and so do the yellow squares. So there's those highlighted cells must be 1 to 9 in some order. Cages show their sums like normal killer, so that pair adds up to 7, and that's it. No idea how this works. Do give it a try on the link under the video, and I'm going to try now. Let's get cracking. So, well, I was going to look, I've got a 9-7 pair in the 16, but I am going to look at those two cages. They add up to 11, and that's actually quite helpful, and more so than considering them individually, because 11 in 4 cells always has to be made up of 1, 2, 3, 5. If you've ever done a killer puzzle with an 4-cell 11 cage, you've probably learned that. But if this is made up of 1, 2, 3, 5, there's no 4. So the 6 cage is 1, 5, and the 5 cage is 2, 3. That doesn't help us with the 17 cage, but it is on the palindrome, remember. So this second digit on the palindrome is 1 or 5, and that goes there. The third digit is a 2 or 3, and that goes there. And that means that we have 1, 5, 2 and 3 as pairs fixed in row 8. So this cell can't be 1, 5, 2 or 3. It's in a 7 cage, so it's got to be 4 or 6. Complemented by a 3 or a 1, and I think that can be either. But 4 or 6 is on the palindrome, and that's this other cell, blue cell here. So those two are going to be the same, those two are going to be the same, the centre of the palindrome's in between them. And whatever this 4 or 6 number is, which is the same in those two instances because of the palindrome, has to appear in the 15 cage. That's lovely. So it can't be the 4. That 15 cage needs a 6, which is the 6 on the palindrome. So we get 6, 9 there. Now, at the top of this box, the digits left over are 4, 7 and 8. So one of those is in the end of the palindrome. The one here is not a 7 because of that 7, 9 pair. Now, what else? These cages aren't quite so useful. They have a variety of possible fills. So, what am I missing? Maybe something to do with these palindrome numbers. 2 or 3. Oh, well, first what I'm missing is now that's a 6 in a killer cage. That becomes a 1. So that puts a 5 on the second digit of the palindrome. That's in a killer cage. We get a 1 there. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Had to deal with a coughing fit. So I was remarking that these cages weren't as useful because they have various fills. Oh no, then we were going back to here. So 4, 7, 8 and 9 to be placed in row 8. Doesn't tell us what these are. We haven't got much help on that. Let's have a look up this column. No, hang on. Look, we've got a 5 in the circles and a 5 in the squares. So in the central box, which is full of circles, squares and a 17 cage, the 5 has to be in the 17 cage, along with either 4, 8 or 3, 9. That hasn't quite... Well, maybe it has. Has it done... We haven't got another definite in the squares and circles, so I don't see... Oh, hang on. 1 and 6. What does this mean? Oh, 6 is in the circles, isn't it? So 6... No, sorry, I'm thinking of the circles... Okay, what I just did there is complete bobbins. 5... No, it is right. 5 can only appear once in the circles. 5 can only appear once in the squares. So in the central box, 5 must be in one of those cells. So... Sorry, it is right. 5 goes either with 4 and 8 or 3 and 9. I was just wondering if that had some effect on the other circles here, but I don't see how it does. Oh, wait. These are the same. Yes. These are the same. So whatever digit they are is in a square and a circle and must appear in this cage. That's right, isn't it? That's lovely. Right. So we get a 3 in there and a 3 in this cage along with 9. So that's a 3, 5, 9 triple, making up that 17 cage. This becomes a 2. It hasn't done much else. These can't have a 6 in. Oh, that's lovely. These can't have a 6 in because of regular Sudoku, and that's 6. So the only place for 6 now in the central box is there. That's very pretty. Look, where does 6 go in box 6? Can't go there or there by regular Sudoku. It can't go on the palindrome because it would have to appear somewhere here, and that would clash with all the other possible 6s. So there's a 6 there, a 6 there, but there's also a 6 here. That's using up the 6s for column 1 and 2. So there's a 6 up here. It can't be in the circle because we've used the 6 in the circle. So one of those is a 6. Now, what else do we know? 3 and 5 have been in the squares. And 4, 7 or 8. So one of those is 4, 7 or 8. That's not very helpful at the moment. Three and 5 must be along here somewhere. Yes, that's lovely. 3 and 5 are in those 3 cells because of these pairs in rows 8 and 9. But they can't both be in this pair because to put 3 and 5 in those cells, although it would be possible given that 3 and 5, would not be possible given this cage. You'd have 3, 5, 9 filling 4 cells, which doesn't work. So that is 3 or 5. The other one is on one of these 2. Whether it's 3 or 5, I don't know. It's in one of those 2, but it's forming a virtual triple there. 3, 5 and 9 must be used up in those cells. So we get a 7 here. 9 here. That's not a 9. This is so interesting. This is such an unusual rule set. I hadn't realised quite what it would do, and I'm not sure I fully understand it yet. Right, 1 can't be there, so 1 is in a circle in the middle. So this cell can't be 1, 5, 3 or 6 because of the circles, can't be 2, 7 or 9 because of the column, so it's forming a 4, 8 pair. Everything else in the column is 1, 5 or 6. That one's not 6. This one can't be 1 because of the 13 cage, so it's 5 or 6 going with 8 or 7. It's intriguing. This puzzle works in, again, as so many recently, ways that I just wasn't expecting. So what are this pair? They can't include 1, 6. They can't include 4, 7, 8. They can't include 1 and 6. So they are from 2, 3, 5 and 9. Now we worked out they can't just be from 3, 5 and 9. So they definitely include a 2. But however they do it, oh yeah, well, they have to include a 3 or a 5 because these cells have to include 3 or 5. So they're from 2, 3 and 5, and that's a quadruple now. They include a 2. That one can't be 5, that one can't be 3, so that one can't be 5, that one can't be 3. 2, 3, 5, 9 is a quadruple. 7, 6, 1. This is 4 or 8, and that's a pair in the circles. 9 has to be in one of those 2 cells because it can't be in one of these 2. And the others are from 1, 2 and 7. 1, 2, 7, 9 still to place in the circles. 2, 3, 5, 9, 7, 6 is there. I don't know how to finish this off. 4, 7, 8, 3, 5, 2. There's a 1, 9 pair here. So 9 is not in those 2. They're from 2, 4, 7 and 8. I keep thinking this 9 cage is going to suddenly come into play, but I don't quite know how. That is 1 or 5. So there is a 6 in one of those. Okay, what about the yellow cells then? 6, 5, 3 have gone in the yellow cells. 1 and 2 can't both be there, can they? Oh yeah, just by regular Sudoku, 8 is in one of these 2 cells because there is nowhere else for it in box 5. So that's not an 8 in the square. And what's the other one going to be? Yes, this is something to do with this. They can't, if we put both 1 and 2 in the squares up here, that's not going to work because how are you going to fill the 9 cage? So only one of 1 or 2 can be up there. The other one is going to have to be in one of these. They're 8 and either 1 or 2. That. Okay, my recent deductions are absolute nonsense because I hadn't noticed that 8 could be there, so I'm sorry. Let's rewind a bit. That was a foolish deduction. Sorry if you already complained about that in the comments. You were right. But I did spot it. Anyway. Right, so I couldn't make that deduction about 8, which is unfortunate. 8 having to be in one of those 2. However, let's stick with the one about 1 or 2. There can't be both 1 and 2 there. So either 1 or 2 must be here. Does it have to be both 1 and 2? If 1 was in these yellows, that would be 2, 3 and 4. I think I'm on the wrong track. Let's just rewind a bit. Think about this 2, 3, 5, 9 quad maybe. 7 there. Don't know. That's 4, 7, or 8. One of those is a 2. Oh, I'm missing something now. Come on. 5, 3. Probably missing something that's looking directly at some other Sudoku number. Six was in one of those two. That doesn't really help. So this 9 cage, the only way for it not to have a 1 is to be 2, 3, 4. That would form a 2, 3, 4 triple here. I don't know what I'm quite looking at here. If those were 2s, we'd get a 2 here. They could be 5s. It's not. If that was a 3, oh, well, that's impossible. Right, this can't be a 3, because that would be a 3, and where would 3 go in the 17 cage? That's pretty straightforward, sorry. 2 there, 5 here on the palindrome. That's a 3. It wasn't a chocolate teapot triple at all. It was a straightforward one. No 5 there. We get a 5 here. So 2. Now that must help a bit more than I'm realizing immediately. 5 in one of those 2 cells. 2, 5, 6. Oh, come on, this must be approachable now. That's not a 2. That's the least deduction I can make. 1, 6, 3. Ah, so there is, no, I knew that. There is a 1 there. 6, 5, 3, 9. They can't have a 9. I don't know why I said they could at any point. So there is a 9 in the yellow cells up here, because there has to be one in the squares somewhere. Does that apply to anything else? Yes, there has to be a 1, of course. There's no 1 in those yellow cells. This is the obvious thing. I've fixed 1 as definitely being in the circles there. So it can't be in the yellow cells. So the 1 in the yellow cells is up there. I mean, I've skated around that deduction totally, far too long. So 2 there, a 3, 4 pair in the 9 cage. That's not a 4. So now that can't be a 2. So the 2 in blue is in one of those places. That's not the way forward. 5, 3, 6. If this was 7, 6, that would be 9. Oh, still not there. Oh, honestly, such an obvious deduction. I still can't turn it into something more useful. Right, 1 and 9 are on the yellow. Right, 2, 3, and 4 are not yellow. So where's 4 in yellow? Well, it could be there or it could be there. Right, 5 and 5. 5 in yellow's already been done, so one of those 2's a 5. Oh, 2 and 2, so we can place 2 in box 9. Doesn't really get anything done, but can that be 2 and 9? I think it can. 8-5 or 7-6 there. I'm not sure if I should know how to resolve. Oh, that was a 4-8 pair. Yeah, that gave me this 1-5-6 triple. Oh, what am I missing here? Come on. Must be to do with the yellows. 5, 3, 6, 1, 9. So these are from 2, 4, 7 and 8. Which doesn't quite form a triple here. One of those is a 2, because 2 in yellow can't be there or here. So one of those is a 2. So that's not a 2 in this box. We've got a 1-7 pair. So 2 in the blue is there. 9 is there. That doesn't resolve this pair. 2, though, is now... Look at those 2s. They're ruling out all of those cells. So 2 goes in the cage, which is lovely because it puts a 9 in it. 9 must be in one of those 2 cells, and therefore not in this one. So the 9 in yellow is actually here. That fixes a 1-9 pair down there. 9 must be in that cell, in column 9. Those can't contain a 7, so that's a 2, 4, 8 triple. 9 and 2 there. This is a 5, 7 pair. Again, this puzzle is just not working the way I expected at all, whatever that was. Come on, let's finish off these sets. So that's a 4, 8 pair. Now, 5, 3, 6, 9. 4 can't be here. Oh, it's so strange. Why can't I finish this? Right. 7 and 5 form a virtual pair between those cells because this 13 cage either contains a 7 or 5, and that must contain a 7 or 5. So, what does that mean? This can't be 7 or 5. Or 9, 2, or 6. It can't be 3 either. Can't be 4 because that's already in the box. So that is 1 or 8. Oh, come on. 2, 9, 5, 7, 6 is in one of those. So... I'm sure this isn't as hard as I'm making it out to be. It is very clever, but I don't think it's this difficult. Not really. Is there something I could rule out of though? What about this? It sees 3, 4, 2, 9, 5, and it can't be 6, so it's 1, 7, or 8 because that's already in the squares. Really doesn't resolve things for me. If that was 8, this would be a 7, 6 pair. That would be 5. These would be from 1, 3, 4. Not a problem. Oh, there's something totally blatant, isn't there? There is something totally blatant. Probably my cursor is hovering over it as I speak. This is 6, 8, or 7. 6, 7, or 8. 1 is in one of those 2 cells. 9, 7, 5, 6. 2 has to be in one of those 2. Totally uninteresting. 6, 3, 4, 2, 9, 5. This has to be 6. In the column, it can't be there, so it is here. That does nothing. This is from 1, 7, or 8. 9, 2, 5, 1, 3. These are from 4, 7, or 8. Ooh, that's almost forming some sort of triple. 3 is going to have to end up being in one of those 2 cells. And therefore this is a 3. That does nothing. 1, 4 or 8 there. That could still be a 1. This cell feels quite important and as though maybe I should have been able to resolve it by now. 9, 3, 6, 2, 5. We can't have a 4 there, so 4's in one of those two places. Oh, this palindrome. I haven't thought about the number on the end of it. But that goes in one of those two cells, and I don't see how that's all that helpful. However, it is interesting that I haven't thought about the end of that palindrome for a long time. And it does make me feel as though there's something I haven't noticed about it. It would be in the blue here. Where would it go? The trouble is it can be in either of those positions. If it was a 4, 4 in yellow would have to be... Oh, hang on. No, that is yellow. One in row 2. Just concerned it can't go there or there, but unfortunately that does still leave 3 places. Four, 6 or 8 there. That's not interesting. Oh, that 9 is looking down at this 6-9 pair. That's going to make that 6 and that one not. Is that going to do something that... So I knew one of those was a 6. That hasn't resolved that. 2. So it's all about this, is it? If this is 8, 5, then we get a 6 here, and that's 3 or 4. If this is 7, 6, if this is 7, 6, we get a 7 here in the yellow. Don't see why not. 4, 8. Right, so, oh look, there's a 4, 8 pair there now. So 1 in this row is there. So 1 in column 7 is there. So that's an 8 in the yellow circle, yellow squares. So we get a 2, 4 pair. That's an 8 in the blue. That's a 4. Now surely it's coming. That's a 4. This is obviously a 7 is the last square number left. 7 is on the palindrome. We can take 7 out of those cells. That has become a 1. All the squares and circles are now filled apart from those 2. Right, come on. Has this been resolved now? Not obviously. That can't be 7. 1 in row 5 is there, so this is a 5. Now that 13 cage is resolved, and now surely we are finishing. Wow, that has taken some spotting, and it wasn't that difficult. I just couldn't see it. And that's one of the great things about these puzzles, is sometimes they just baffle you enough that it throws you off completely. So 2 or 8 there. I mean, I think we are finishing now. 1, 3, 4, 9, 2, 8. That can't be an 8. We've got 6 to go in the box. Has to be there. We can do 7 and 5. This becomes a 4. That's an 8. 7 there. This is a 4. What a puzzle. Right, 4 there. These can't be 8, so they're 4 and 7. 8's there. That's 3 or 4, so 1 is there. That's 3 or 8, so I don't know what it is. That's 3 or 8, so now I do know what the others in the cell in the box are. 4 and 6, 3 and 4. 3 or 8 there. 5 in the top row is there. This 2 and 4 is finally resolved. That's an 8. that does all the 3/8 pairs, which does 3, 9 and 9/8. And then we've got one pair of cells left, which contain 3 and 2. What a lovely puzzle by PDN. I really enjoyed that. I didn't solve it brilliantly, but that doesn't stop me enjoying it. I can tell you, that is good fun. So thank you very much to PDN for sending that in. And thank you all for watching as always. I hope to see you again on the channel soon. Bye for now.